This inquiry traces the hidden environmental and social costs of spaceport infrastructure and how the cultural authority of space technology shields these costs from scrutiny. Cycle 1. Global Biodiversity. Cycle 1 established the global scale. With 175 increase in launches over the last decade, 67% of sites are now coastal, primarily in sensitive mangroves. Research shows 62% of sites operate within protected areas, yet chemical impacts extend 45 kilometers and debris up to 1,500. This quantified exposure, but the pathway remained unclear. Cycle 2. Synergistic toxicity. Cycle 2 identified the toxicological mechanism. Studies on freshwater shrimp showed aluminum bioaccumulating 2 times faster through ingestion and water contact. Under acidified launch conditions, effects are synergistic. Neurotoxicity and metabolic depression occur simultaneously. The critical insight: alive does not mean healthy. Standard monitoring misses these sublethal impairments. Cycle 3. Trophic Magnification. Cycle 3 found field evidence in Brazil. Atlantic nurse sharks showed mercury levels 106 times regional averages, the highest ever recorded. Rubidium, a space fuel fingerprint, was found at 7 times Arctic levels. The biological chain is complete. Toxins leak, organisms ingest, and apex predators magnify. The remaining question was legal. Cycle 4. Legal liability gaps. Why is this allowed? The 1972 Liability Convention only recognizes damage as a loss of life or property. Chronic environmental degradation is excluded. Furthermore, communities have no standing. Only states can file claims. Frameworks. This inquiry then turned to alternative legal frameworks for direct standing. Cycle 5. Indigenous rights. Cycle 5 tested Indigenous rights frameworks. A 2024 ruling found Brazil guilty of expropriating 52,000 hectares and displacing 312 families for a spaceport. The court rejected national security as a defense, mandating reparations and land titling. This set a precedent in the Americas, but does the pattern hold for the global north? Cycle 6. Global North, Sami and Estrange. In Sweden, the Estrange pad was built on Sami reindeer territory using 4,000 truckloads of mine waste. This green colonialism displacement framed as virtuous because of satellites enabling climate monitoring. The pattern is structural, not contextual, yet Sami continues to lack the judicial remedies found in the Americas. Cycle 7. The EIA structural failures. Cycle 7 examined the regulatory enabling of this system. U.S. launches are projected to reach 288 by 2027, a 14-fold increase, yet 86% of FFA reviews rely on outdated assessments. Soil data shows significant metal accumulation after just 5 launches, but the law treats each launch as an isolated temporary event. Cycle 8. Carrying capacity. Proper regulation requires critical loads, the point where harm becomes permanent. However, the toxicity values for rocket-specific pollutants like alumina or rubidium simply do not exist. You cannot set a legal limit for a pollutant whose biological threshold has never been measured. Cycle 9. Institutional data gaps. Even at the Kennedy Space Center, the world's most studied facility, soil contamination is largely ignored. NASA monitoring found water spikes of 175%, but the soil remains a mystery. Alligator livers at the Kennedy Space Center show iron levels 3 times higher than reference sites, matching rocket alloy compositions. The data gap is not accidental, it's structural. Cycle 10. Charismatic technology. Cycle 10 provides the explanatory key. Rockets are charismatic technology. Their power is derived from promise, not performance. This creates a flattening effect where questioning a rocket feels like questioning progress itself. The charisma is why the thresholds aren't measured, EIAs are skipped, and displacement is ignored. Conclusion. To synthesize, spaceports leak, organisms ingest, and apex predators magnify. Harms are legally invisible, and communities are displaced. EIAs are blind because the underlying science is missing. The open question remains: can these costs ever be adequately weighed while the charismatic authority of space technology persists? Thank you.